Hey all, Heretic here with another Hearthstone Battlegrounds tips and tricks guide, and I'm here to bring you the information you need to help you win with Mr. Bigglesworth. So get comfy and let's dive in. First, let's talk about the hero power, Kel'Thuzad's Kitty. Now this is a passive power that reads, when a player dies, discover a minion from their warband. It keeps any enchantments. So what this means is if at any point in the game someone dies, you're going to get to choose from one of three random minions that were on their field. Now, anything this minion had on it, if it was a 90-90, Divine Shield, Poison, Reborn, whatever, you'll get it. And if it was gold, when you play it, you're going to get to discover another minion, just like anytime you triple a card and make something gold. So this is a phenomenal hero power that really can set you up. Now, the problem is, yes, your opponent might have a bunch of great minions on his board, but you only get to discover one from three, and if it offers you the three crappy ones, might not be what you want. But odds are, especially the later in the game you get, when people are more likely to die, you're going to find something you want. So this is a really great power. It's super fun. It's very random. You just never know what you're going to get. So it's a really good time. I really love this. You want to keep your options open in your game because you never know what you're going to find. Typically, when you're playing Bigglesworth, you're going to be going along just trying to get things, to work. And then all of a sudden, you're going to find a powerhouse usually. And it's just going to keep happening. So stick with it. You're going to have a good time. It's a lot of fun. So now let's take a look at his buddy, Lil K.T. Now, Lil K.T. is a tier 2, 5/4 neutral minion that reads, at the start of your turn, get a plain minion from your lowest health opponent's warband. So what this means is, after your round of combat and you go to the shop phase, your next opponent, you're going to get the lowest health minion, a copy of that. Just plain, no buffs, not gold, no nothing, just a freebie minion. But it's a freebie, so that's pretty good. And if you know what they have, you can maybe set yourself up for a triple. It's pretty cool. I really like this. This is just a great economy, if anything. And since it's tier 2, you're going to get it very early. So it's a good buddy. Now, when you triple this, it's a 10-8, but you get 2 copies of those minions. So triple's very easy. A lot of fun. This is very good early game. I would keep it to the point where it's gold, but about this time is when people are going to start dying and you're going to start getting offered much better minions. So you're probably going to want to think about getting rid of it about the time it's gold, maybe a turn or two later, but don't hang on to it forever. Getting free cards forever is really cool, but not for a 10-8 neutral minion. That's not going to help you win the game at all. Now, when it comes to tiering with Bigglesworth, it's pretty simple. Do your warrior curve, do your basic curve, whichever one you prefer, depending on what's in the lobby and what options are given for you. Myself, I still prefer the warrior curve with him, just because it helps you hold off any early damage and keeps your tempo up, which when you're playing Bigglesworth, it's kind of all about tempo. That's the most important thing. Now, the minions you want when you're playing Bigglesworth is hard to nail down, because Bigglesworth hero power is about stealing things from dead opponents and then getting little minions from your buddy. So you're not really looking super for a direction in the early game because your hero power is nothing for you. You're looking for more tempo. You want stats, stats, stats. The bigger the minions, the harder they hit, the longer they survive, the more likely you are to not lose. You don't need something that's going to carry you to turn 12, 14. You need minions that are going to keep you alive to turn 9 and 10 when people start dying en masse. That's when you're going to power spike. So the main thing you're looking for is tempo. Find minions, stay alive, pay attention to what your opponents have who are getting weak and starting to die, and be ready. Typically, when you're playing this hero, you do not need a Nomi. I mean, yeah, these things are useful, but you want to keep your options widely open. So brands are fantastic, things like that. You don't want to lock yourself down to any one thing. And the nice thing about Bran is, well, he doubles any battle cry effect, which, it's pretty much universal. Everybody likes battle cries. So really keep your options open. Tempo, stats. Now, when it comes to countering Bigglesworth, that's a tough thing to describe. Kill him early. If you can get Bigglesworth out first, that's your best bet. Because the more people that die, the more powerful he becomes the later to the game. So if it's turn 10 and no one's died yet, but Bigglesworth's still at 40 health, you're in trouble. Because the moment 2, 3 people start to go, you're going to be hurting. It's going to happen. He's going to have a huge spike, and then he's going to be nigh unstoppable, other than, you high rolling to the same level, which is not easy to accomplish. So pay attention to what he has. Pay attention to who died. That's really the only way to play around it. If you know that someone died who's playing, a massive mech Taunty board, odds are Bigglesworth stole one of those. So you're going to want to tech around something to get around that. Other than that, it's just be aware of what they have. That's all you can do, is just play your game, play into your strengths, and be aware if it's late game and Bigglesworth is starting to kill people left and right. He's probably got a pretty damn good board. Just be ready for it as best you can. Overall, I love Bigglesworth. I've loved him in the beginning when they released him. I loved him when they put the buddy out. He's just great. In the early game, his hero power does nothing. It's just there. It's passive and it's waiting to trigger. And you want to kill Bigglesworth before it starts to trigger. He's all about tempo. He's going to stay alive. And if he does, you're in trouble if you're not him. Late game turns when playing Bigglesworth, I cannot stress the insanity that can happen. If it's turn 13 and 4 people die, you've got 10 gold. You've got a bunch of decisions to make just on your normal buying. But now you've got to discover 4 different cards. And if they're 4 golden cards you discover, you also got to play those triples out of each of them. So be prepared for those late games. If people start dying en masse, to be ready to go, to be ready to make quick decisions and decide what you're going to do fast. Because you're not going to have enough time to do all those cards, plus their triples, plus the 10 gold, if you're just kind of passive, and sitting there relaxing. I love this hero. It's a lot of fun. Early game starts very slow. You just focus, get the basics out of the way, and then huge decisions in the late game. Yes, you can easily be knocked out early with Bigglesworth since you have no hero power that's doing anything. But if you can make it there, the high roll potential, it is so much fun. So get out there, try some Bigglesworth. Trust me, you're going to love it. In the end, I've attached a link to some gameplay. If you're looking to see how I piloted them, stay tuned. I have more guides on the way. I hope you learned a few things today and had a good time. I know I did. Bye.